Good morning, it's Thursday. I'll be on Teams at 10 o'clock for our live lesson. And today I think we'll play phonics bingo again. So have a look on the Teams channel to see what letters you can choose from for our game of phonics bingo. Now, I've got a funny story today. It's a Charlie and Lola book, so I have to use my Lola voice to read the title. And the title is "We Honestly Can Look After Your Dog." And I think this book's a bit funny because I don't think she's very good at looking after a dog. But I am sure that you guys would be really good at looking after pets. So I've got a bit of a thinking and list writing job for you at the end of this book. We honestly can look after your dog. I have this little sister, Lola. She's small and very funny. But at the moment, Lola really wants to have a dog. But Mum and Dad say she can't because our flat is too small and Lola is too young to look after one. Lola says, "Say woof, Charlie." So I say woof. Then Lola says, "Sit." So I sit. My cereal bowl is now a dog bowl, and she has made me a dog bed. Lola just loves dogs. A lot. One day Dad took us to the park. There was me and my friend Marv, Lola and her friend Lotta, and Sizzles. Sizzles is Marv's dog. Lola loves Sizzles. So does Lola's best friend Lotta. Lola says, "You ask." Lotta says, "No, you ask." So Lola says, "Marv, can we look after Sizzles?" Marv says, "Lola, do you know about dogs?" Lola says, "Yes, I know everything." And Lotta says, "So do I." Lola says, "We know that Sizzles is a very clever dog. We know he can do very good tricks." Lotta says, "If he wanted to, he could roll over." Lola says, "And walk on two legs." Lotta says, "And speak English." Lola says, "And dance." Definitely, I think. Lotta, do you know what I think? Sizzles can really do absolutely anything. Then Lola says, "Sizzles is the cleverest dog ever, anywhere." Marv says, "Hey, watch this. Sizzles, sit. Sizzles, sit. Sit. Sit, Sizzles." While Marv is trying to make Sizzles sit, I see some of our friends playing football, and I think I'd really like to play too. So I say, "We could play just one game, Marv." Marv says, "But who's going to look after Sizzles?" Lola says, "Me." Lotta says, "Me." I say, "It is only for a little while. He'll be okay with Lola and Lotta. I'm pretty sure he will." So Marv says, "All right then. But do you know that there are lots of rules if you want to look after Sizzles? No chocolates or cakes and no sweets of any kind. Completely no digging and no chasing birds and no splashing in puddles. And no taking him off the lead." Marv says, "Do you honestly promise to look after my dog?" Lola says, "Honestly, we do promise, honestly, to look after your dog." Lotta says, "Honestly and promisingly, we do." Lola says, "Dogs must be stroked and patted." Lotta says, "To tell them we're their friend." Lola says, "Playing is what makes dogs happy." Lotta says, "And grooming makes dogs feel pretty." Lola says, "Dogs must go outside and must walk." Lotta says, "Otherwise, what is the point of their legs?" Then Lola says, "Lotta, I don't think you really know all about dogs like me." And Lotta says, "Lola, I really do know everything about dogs." Lola says, "But Lotta, I'm in charge." And Lotta says, "So am I." Lola says,
We're both in charge, but I think that Marv said I was a little bit more in charge than you. You see, Lotta, you must hold the lead like this, see?
Lotta says, "Oh no, Lola, you really must do it like this." Oh no!
Sizzles, where are you?
Where are you, Sizzles?
Sizzles, where are you?
Lola says,
Do you think we have lost him forever?
Lotta says, "I think he was sad, actually." Then Lola says,
Sizzles!
But then Lola says,
"Oh no, there are two Sizzleses."
And Lotta says, "No, Lola, there are two dogs, but only one is Sizzles." Lola says,
"But which one?"
Lotta says, "I don't know." Lola says,
"The clever one. Sizzles can do anything, remember?"
Lotta says, "Yes, Sizzles can do anything. Sizzles can sit. Sizzles, sit, sit, sit." And Lola says,
Sit, sit, please sit.
Lotta says,
Sit, sit, sit.
"Will you sit?" Then Lola says,
Sizzles, it's Sizzles.
So I say, "Look here." I missed a page there, haven't I? Surely. When me and Marv finished playing football, we went to find Lola and Lotta. I say, "Come on, you two, it's time to go." But Lola and Lotta look a bit fidgety, and they both whisper,
"Charlie, we had Sizzles, and we were looking after him. Then he sort of went for a walk without his lead, and then we couldn't see him any more, and then we saw him, but he wasn't one, he was two Sizzleses, and so I'm not sure that Sizzles is Sizzles now."
So I say, "Look here. Dog number 144, Sizzles. Owner Marv Lowe, 5A Crocodile Street." Then Marv says, "That's his dog tag. It's got his name and address on it in case he gets lost. All dogs have 'em."
And Lola says, "We knew that actually, Marv."
And Lotta says, "Just in case they get lost." I say, "Yeah, that's right. Just in case they get lost." And Lola says,
"But Sizzles would never get lost."
Lotta says, "Because he's very clever."
Lola says, "He can do absolutely anything."
And Marv says, "Come on, Sizzles, we're going home." I love that story. I think it's such a funny story. And I think it's a really good way of writing a list is to think about looking after a pet. So I want you today to choose a pet, any pet you want, and make a list of the things you would need in order to look after it. So I have got pet fish. And to keep my pet fish, I need a fish tank to keep them in. I need fish food to feed them. I need special water cleaner because my fish can't go in tap water, so I have to have a special thing called Tap Safe to put into the water to get rid of some of the chlorine in it to make it safe for the fish. I also use another little bottle of chemical called Filter Boost to help keep their water nice and clean. Then also their water needs to be kept clean with an actual filter. So I need a filter, and because my fish like the water to be a bit warm, there's also a heater in their fish tank. Heat. So that's my list of all the things I need in order to keep my fish safe. I also need a bucket to carry the water. And when I clean their water, I've got a special fish hoover where I pump a little pump and it sucks the water out and it sucks up all the dirt and gunge out of the rocks at the bottom as well. So I've got a fish tank hoover. Fish tank hoover. And plants. Gosh, it takes a lot to look after fish, doesn't it? Because they need plants to keep their water nice and healthy as well. So that's my list of things I need to look after my fish. I'd love to see some lists of what you need, either to look after a pet that you have or to look after a pet that you would like to have.